To begin with, we can open the CATIA software by right-clicking on the icon and choosing Open. In this way we can avoid double-clicking more than once, as the software is sometimes very slow to load up, particularly the first time you load it up with your user profile. So we wait now for the software to load up. Now, the first time, whenever we open the software, it will open into a product file. And we're not ready to use a product file as yet, but we might just look while we're here and notice that in the top right hand corner we have an icon with two gears on it, and that tells us that we're in a product. I'm going to close the product file and open a part file. So I go to File, New, and then I want to choose a part file. So I'm going to type in P, then select part and choose OK. At this time we don't need to have any of these boxes checked, so uncheck any that are and choose OK. We've now opened a part file. Notice up in the top right hand corner here we have a single gear icon which tells us that we're in the part workbench, and we also have in the top right hand corner the three-dimensional compass. So we're looking at three-dimensional space now. In order to make something, we're going to choose the pad icon. A pad is a three-dimensional object which we're going to grow. So to do that, we choose pad, and then we must choose the sketch icon, and then decide which plane we want to sketch the item on. So I'm going to choose the XY plane. We are now in a two-dimensional space. Notice that the single gear icon is missing now because we are in the sketching workbench. And notice also that these sets of tools here have changed. We have some drawing tools now. I'm going to grab a rectangle drawing tool and click again for a rectangle. Now I can make this any size that I like, but at the moment that doesn't really matter. What I'm going to do now, having decided the size of the rectangle, I'm going to exit the workbench, and now I get to decide what size the third dimension is. So I could, if I like, I can make it bigger. So now it's 40 millimeters. I can preview it and I'm happy, so I can say that's okay. We now have a three-dimensional object. Up in the top left hand corner we have what we call the tree, and if I open up the part body I now have an icon for the pad and also underneath it a sketch icon. So if I double click on the sketch icon, I go back to the sketch that I made. I then exit the 2D workbench again. If I wanted to change the size of the third dimension, I would double click on pad, and then I could change that dimension. It's now 30 millimeters. I can preview that. Okay. So we can change the size of this. I could go back and change the sketch like that. Exit the workbench. In this way we can change the size and shape of that object. Now, to move the object around on the screen, if I hold down the roller on the mouse, I can move the object across and up and down. If I wish to rotate the object, I hold down the roller and hold down the left click on the mouse, and the object will rotate around in three-dimensional space. Notice that the compass in the top right hand corner is showing where we are. If I wish to scale the object, I can hold down the roller and momentarily click the left click, and I can scale down by pulling towards myself or scale up. Now if I lose the object on the screen, I can go down to this icon here, which is Fit All In, choose that, and I can recenter on the screen. One other thing that might be worth knowing is that if I want to put a certain part of the drawing into the centre of the screen, I can hover over with the mouse, click the roller, and now the object will rotate around the point which I clicked, because that is in the centre of the screen. We have now created a three-dimensional object.